Creation and the Fall of Mankind, a journey through Genesis 1-3. Welcome back to our Bible Stories YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button for more inspiring biblical stories. Today, we're diving into the creation and the fall of mankind as told in Genesis 1-3. These chapters form the foundation of the biblical story of creation, humanity, and our relationship with God. Genesis 1-3 introduces the creation of the world, the first humans, Adam and Eve, and the origin of sin, which leads to the fall of humanity. The creation of the world, Genesis 1-2. The creation story unfolds in 6 days, each revealing a different aspect of God's creative work. Day 1, God created light, separating it from darkness and naming them day and night. Day 2, He created the sky, dividing the waters above from the waters below. Day 3, God gathered the waters to reveal dry land and created vegetation, plants, trees, and fruits. Day 4, He formed the sun, moon, and stars to govern day, night, and the seasons. Day 5, God created sea creatures and birds, blessing them to multiply and fill the oceans and skies. Day 6, He created land animals and then formed humans in His image to have dominion over the earth. Day 7, after 6 days of creation, God rested, blessing the seventh day as a day of rest, setting a divine example for rest and reflection. Genesis 2:1-3. The creation of humans and the Garden of Eden, Genesis 2. Genesis 2 provides more detail about the creation of humanity. God formed Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed life into him. Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with trees, rivers, and all manner of life. Among the trees in the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam one command: he could eat from any tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If he disobeyed and ate from that tree, he would surely die. Seeing that Adam was alone, God created Eve from Adam's rib to be his companion. Together, Adam and Eve were given the responsibility to care for the garden and live in harmony with God. The fall of mankind, the origin of sin, Genesis 3. Genesis 3 introduces the temptation of humanity and the fall into sin. The serpent, representing Satan, tempts Eve by questioning God's command and suggesting that eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil would make her and Adam like God, knowing good and evil. Deceived by the serpent's lies, Eve eats the fruit and offers it to Adam, who also eats, despite knowing God's command. Genesis 3:6. The consequences of sin. Immediately after eating the fruit, Adam and Eve realize their nakedness, symbolizing the loss of their innocence. They hastily cover themselves with fig leaves, but when God confronts them, Adam blames Eve, and Eve blames the serpent. Genesis 3:12-13. God then pronounces judgment on all three: the serpent, cursed to crawl on its belly and face hostility with humanity. God also makes a prophetic promise that the offspring of the woman will crush the serpent's head, which is often seen as a reference to Christ's eventual victory over sin. Genesis 3:14-15. Eve, she is given the curse of increased pain in childbirth and a more complex relationship with her husband. Genesis 3:16. Adam, the ground is cursed, and Adam will have to toil and labor for food. Moreover, death enters human existence as Adam is told, "From dust you are and to dust you will return." Genesis 3:17-19. To prevent Adam and Eve from eating from the tree of life and living forever in their fallen state, God expels them from the Garden of Eden. Cherubim and a flaming sword are placed to guard the entrance, barring the way to the tree of life. Genesis 3:22-24. The significance of the story creation. The creation story demonstrates God's power, wisdom, and love in forming the universe and humanity. Being made in God's image, humans possess intrinsic value and purpose. Free will. The command regarding the tree of the knowledge of good and evil introduces the concept of free will. God allowed Adam and Eve to make their own moral choice between obedience and disobedience. The fall. Adam and Eve's disobedience brought sin, death, and separation from God into the world. Their actions broke the perfect relationship with their Creator, leading to both physical and spiritual death. Hope for redemption. Despite the consequences of sin, God's promise to the serpent contains a prophecy of redemption through Jesus Christ, who would ultimately defeat sin and death, restoring humanity's broken relationship with God. Genesis 3:15. Conclusion. Genesis 1-3 presents profound truths about humanity's origin, purpose, and the introduction of sin into the world. While highlighting the consequences of disobedience, it also unveils God's eternal plan for redemption. This foundational narrative sets the stage for the rest of the Bible, showcasing God's ongoing relationship with humanity and His plan to restore what was lost. Thank you for watching our Bible Stories YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more biblical content.